If there is one saga that we were eager to see how it will end, that has to be Nicholas Latifi and the Williams one. Although every single F1 soul out there expected that Latifi won't extend his deal with Williams as the team has much better choices than the Canadian, we were a bit surprised when the decision was made today. De Vries' debut has proven to be fatal for the Canadian as the paid driver has constantly been able to secure his seat throughout the 3 years in Williams thanks to his father's money. Nevertheless, it seems like Williams are ready to move on with the new ownership, and there is a couple of replacements that the team already has in mind. Want to find out who they are? Stick around until the end of our video. Nicholas Latifi signed with Williams in 2020 when the team was at its lowest, pairing up with George Russell. It became evident right away that he isn't a good choice for the team, but everybody thought that he needs some time to adapt to the car. However, all Latifi was known is spinning from races and ending them prematurely, or just not having enough pace in his car to prove that he can fight for points. After scoring points on just 2 occasions with Williams, both of them last year in Hungary and in Belgium, the fact that the Spa GP hasn't even been held proves that Latifi actually scored on 1 occasion only. There have been some bright moments in this season for him, although they weren't really capitalized on, as Latifi managed to finish P1 in FP3 in Hungary and he also managed to enter Q3 in Silverstone. However, in the latter event, he finished P12, while 6 participants failed to finish the race. It was evident that Williams is more than happy to look in another direction because the ownership has changed, and the fact that Albon performed so well throughout the year, while De Vries' debut showed that the car is more than capable of scoring some points. True, De Vries has some help regarding the engine penalties, but all of those drivers passed him from behind and he still fought well. Latifi spoke for the media regarding his departure from Williams, saying, "I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone at Williams Racing, all the people back at the factory and those I work this trackside for the last 3 years. My initial F1 debut was postponed due to the pandemic, but we eventually got going in Austria, and although we have not achieved the results together we hoped we would, it still has been a fantastic journey. Getting those first points in Hungary last year was a moment I'll never forget, and I will move on to the next chapter of my career with special memories of my time with this dedicated team. I know none of us will stop putting in every effort until the end of the season," finished Latifi. On the other hand, the current principal of Williams, Jost Capito, spoke about the situation as well, wishing nothing but the best for the Canadian driver, adding, "He's a great team player who has a great attitude towards his colleagues and work and is well liked and respected throughout the business. Our time together is now coming to an end, but I know he will put full effort into maximize what we can do together for the remainder of the season. We wish him all the very best luck for his future, both in and out of the cockpit," finished Capito. It seems like Abu Dhabi is the final place where we'll see Latifi race, and that is the exact same race where Latifi caused the chaos that made the ending so interesting and controversial at the same time. On one occasion, Horner said that Latifi deserves an unlimited amount of Red Bull energy drinks. So it's official, Latifi's out. What follows next for Williams? Do they have options ready on the sidelines? Stick around with us to find out more. Williams has a couple of options that they can consider for a fresh vacant spot that was left from Latifi. First, they can consider Nyck de Vries, as the Dutchman has proved to be the perfect fit for Williams, scoring 33% of the total points that Williams has in just 1 race in his career. He also pushed Latifi at P21 and was the main catalyst to these events unwinding down as they did. Jost Capito said that De Vries and he are very close friends, and he praised De Vries for his debut and about his spot in Williams, adding, "He did an absolutely outstanding job and I rate him extremely high. That's why my expectations are extremely high and he overfulfilled these. It's so difficult to get in that car to race for 2 hours and do the qualifying and not doing any mistakes and not driving on its own. He had to defend, he had to attack, he had to get lapped and not doing a mistake, then he had to do the pit stop. It's just so complicated, and it's an outstanding job," said Capito, who also spoke about the contractual situations of De Vries. "I don't know, you have to ask him what his contractual situations are. You've just seen how messy it can be, and we're not known for being messy. I'm not doing hypothetical things, so I'm only interested in facts. If the facts are there, then there might be solutions," finished Capito. However, Capito needs to understand, and has probably understood by now, that De Vries is contacted by AlphaTauri and is very likely to sign with them in the upcoming period. The potential of driving for Red Bull may be very tempting for De Vries, as we all know that the chances of him replacing Hamilton in Mercedes after 2024 are unlikely, but not impossible. As for the other choices, Capito spoke about a rookie sitting in the Williams seat, which is something that he does not see a problem with, given the fact that Williams isn't highly rated ahead and they can afford the luxury of having some rookies driving for them. He said, "There's a good choice of drivers. It's a good choice of young drivers. There's still some experienced drivers there as well. And so I think it's quite different philosophies, different strategies. And in the situation of the team, we can work on different strategies. We're not so much in the front that we need 2 experienced drivers, so we can experiment a bit and get young drivers in. So we'll see what turns out to be the best. Either we think that he's Sargent ready and he's capable or not. He could do another year in F2 or whatever," finished Capito, who stressed out that the only factor that will predominate over Williams taking Sargent is Latifi's replacement or not will be his skill, not his nationality. But there is a requirement that Sargent and Doohan, both of the rookies that are being considered by Williams, have to fulfill, and that is to qualify for a super license. If Sargent manages to finish in the top 5 at the last race in Yas Marina, he will be eligible to apply for the super license, and he would stand an equal chance of joining the sport just like any other competitor for the seat. He is currently at P3 and his spot is endangered by multiple drivers, 6 to be more precise, one of which could be the other competitor for Williams' vacant seat. Jack Doohan is currently sitting at P4 and could overtake Sargent for the P3 place, and although both of them can finish in the top 5, the fact that Doohan may perform better under pressure than Sargent, who had a string of DNFs this season, may prevail over who will be signed by Williams for the 2023 season. However, Doohan is an Alpine protege, and it's likely that the French-based team will try to negotiate a deal with Williams the same way they did with Piastri. This would see Williams taking the Renault engines from 2023 and beyond, and Doohan would gain a couple of years of experience prior to moving to the Alpine senior team. This would leave Sargent, who is currently 21 years old, a couple of more sessions to mature in F2, just like Capito said, and then he could come and take the seat in Williams. With that being said, the opportunities for Williams are truly wide, and they do need to consider carefully who they will sign for the vacant spot in the team. Now that Albon and De Vries proved that the car can score points, it's evident that Williams would prefer a driver that can continue the streak of scoring points, as they are looking forward to getting out of the dead last spot in the championship. What do you think is next for Williams? Let us know in the comments below.